The Hanslope Show Podcast. Your village, your podcast. It's all about Hanslope.
Hello, it's Trev, and welcome back to the Hanslope Show Podcast. Thank you for downloading and spreading the word of our podcast. We, of course, release maybe 1 or 2 episodes a month, and a massive thank you to the Hanslope Parish Council for supporting us, and Adam and the team at Hague Property Professionals too. Without them, we couldn't do it, quite simply. So 3 stories for you again this month. We always try and get 3, and we're going to hear from Phil about this month's Open Gardens. Happens on the 20th of June, raising money for St James the Great Church. And we had a chat with Phil, and Phil is firmly behind Hanslope Open Gardens, always has been. And there's also a little bit of competition too amongst some of the gardens.
Oh yes. There's one on Castlethorpe Road. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but his is a lot better. I was going to say better than mine. He looked to me to be more of an horticulturalist.
Yeah, really enjoyed my chat with Phil in his garden, and to preview Hanslope Open Gardens later this month on the 20th of June. Now, we also had a chat with Georgia, who runs the Hanslope line dancing classes here in the village, and thank goodness when she arrived in Hanslope, she did what she did.
If there's no line dancing there, we'll start a class, and that's what we did, yeah.
So that's to come then, line dancing and open gardens on the show this month. But we're going to start with a very important person here in Hanslope. He is Alasdair Black, and he's our community first responder. And I went around Alasdair's place here in Hanslope to have a chat about what he does and what first responders do in villages like Hanslope.
The Hanslope Show Podcast. Your village, your podcast. It's all about Hanslope.
Now I'm the community first responder in the village, so that's what I do for the ambulance service as a volunteer. What we do, there's two of us. There's one in the village, myself, and then there's a chap called Richard who's in Castlethorpe. Rich has been doing it for millions of years, but he used to cover both. Now we split the time. We volunteer our time to respond to any emergency that has come through the ambulance service via 999. Sometimes that's 111, who then passes that on to 999. And if we're logged on and available, and it's the type of call that a CFR can go to, which I can explain in a minute, we will get sent. The deal is that it's a minimum of 20 hours a month that I need to be on. I'm usually on, I did 53 hours last month, and that's quite average for me to do that.
Okay.
That managed to get me to clock up 189 jobs last year, which is reasonably high for a CFR, but that's just because I'm available for more. The more you're available, the more work you get. And that's not in the we've that's across.
I was going to say that can't just be our village. 159 call-outs.
No, so I'm part of the Milton Keynes scheme. We've got the Milton Keynes, and then there's the Newport and Olney scheme. To be honest, because we're right next to each other, we all know each other, and we all cross each other's patches quite regularly.
Yeah.
If I'm here, I can get in theory, I should be dispatched any further than 5 or 6 miles away. So I'll end up in I can end up in Stony Stratford, right. Stoke Goldington, Wolverton from Hanslope. I find myself in one of those locations a bit further out, and another job comes along, then I might end up in Milton Keynes, for example.
Sure.
What we do is, Category 1 calls, for example, so those are the life-threatening calls where we need to be there within a 7-minute response time. If you're in a village, unless there's a crew within the village, that's not really going to happen, and realistically. So we'll get there usually within a couple of minutes, and we can, if it's a cardiac arrest, for example, which is Category 1, or life-threatening asthma attack, or a fit, for example, there's a certain kit that we have that can make a difference. So I've got to carry an AED, automated defibrillator. We've also got 4 in the village as well. If I'm not around and there's one and you happen to be there, you might get directed to one of those. I carry a big old green bag, which is behind you, and it's a podcast, so it's visual stuff doesn't work.
No, I can see there's a big green bag there.
Big old green bag. In there is...
ambulance colours.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. In there's an oxygen cylinder, basic life support stuff, so a bag out. So you might see someone with a big bag and a mask over someone's mouth or on TV and what have you doing that. That's ventilation. Oral airway, so air tubes that you put in the mouth or in the nose. That's all part of the resuscitation work. For every job that we do, we have a set of clinical observations that we do. Everyone gets them, so your blood pressure, your blood sugar, heart rate, oxygen saturations. that all gets done. And I find, for example, if you're having a diabetic episode and you're having a hypo, so low blood sugar, I can reverse that by giving you some glucose as long as you're awake.
Okay.
If you're unconscious, I can't put that in because you might choke.
Sure.
But
so you're a one-stop shop.
One-stop shop for most things, and my role is to start that care off as soon as possible. Crews are on their way. If it's a category 1, they'll be there pretty quickly. But I could be there in the village 5-10 minutes on my own, dealing with a cardiac arrest, for example, before a crew gets there. But if I'm not there, we're relying on individuals who are in the house, for example, or in the if it's a public space, to do that CPR. But I've also got more kit that I can bring to that.
Yeah.
That's essential for CPR. If you get CPR and early defibrillation within the first 3 to 5 minutes, that's ideal. Any longer than that, and the outcomes, which are already really low for out of hospital cardiac arrest, just get worse.
Yeah.
But that's what I do. Once the crew get there, I'll do a handover. It's a structured handover that we give, and if the crew need you, you'll stay there and you'll assist them. Part of our training is we know an awful lot about the kit that they carry. Some of it we can help them with, so carrying patients out, for example. Sure. People never collapse in a nice convenient middle of the living room. It's usually in a toilet or down the side of a toilet or on the stairs or upstairs if they're heavy. So crews are normally 2 people, so sometimes they can do that, sometimes they need more. I like staying as well because I learn things from the crew. Crews and Milton Keynes are brilliant. They're open for CFRs to listen and to do things alongside them so that we can learn more. Because we are one big sort of green family, is the saying.
Okay.
It literally is. That's kind of what we do.
Sure. So let me take it back just a second. So you say you work for the ambulance service, but you volunteer as a CFR.
Yeah. So my full-time job. So I'm a volunteer member of staff for South Central Ambulance Service, which is the ambulance service that covers our area. But my full-time paid job is completely different. Okay. I work for Volkswagen Financial Services as a credit risk manager.
Yeah.
I've been at Volkswagen since 2002.
Okay.
So that's very different. So that's an office-based role.
Sure.
I was in the Territorial Army in the late 90s, and that's when I started in infantry as Royal Green Jackets in Milton Keynes and Blakelands. And that's when I first started learning a bit about first aid, but it was mostly battlefield first aid, trauma stuff, obviously. Sure. After that, I got the opportunity to get a first aid at work certificate qualification, and I've kept that up ever since. So it's about 30 years worth of first aid at work stuff. Very occasionally you'll do something, but it's you requal every 3 years. But I've kept that up because I've been interested, and now I've had the opportunity. It was 2024 when the opportunity arose. I had a bit more spare time in my hands. Thought, you know what, I want to do the CFR thing. So, and it was down at the duck race. Went down and they had a stand there, so I got chatting with them. And next thing you know, I'm on the training courses, sitting the exams, and then I'm out. Buddies, what we do is we buddy shift after we passed with a scheme coordinator for once, twice, or however long the coordinator thinks you need buddying or you want to buddy with. Yeah. And then you're left to the first time I'm sat at home with my response phone, logging on my own. Yeah. Deep, sharp breath, because literally you don't know what's going to happen, and you will go to anything. Yes, pretty much. I think I should point out the exclusions because we're solo, and it's the same with the crews as well. If the scene isn't safe, they won't send us. Yeah. So a stabbing or gunshot or gunshot wounds. If the person who's done that is still there, we won't get sent to that because it's not safe. If there's a fight going on, they probably won't send us because I'll be on my own. Members of the service shouldn't be attacked, but we do. That does happen. Yeah. Maternity cases, so emergency births, CFRs aren't trained to deal with that, so we don't get sent to that sort of thing. Purely mental health jobs where there's nothing else clinically or no trauma-related stuff. Then we wouldn't get sent to that because that's a specialism. Yes. I would say that an awful lot of the jobs I go to have an aspect of poor mental health as part of that, but that's not an exclusion. It's just someone having a psychotic episode and they haven't hurt themselves, for example. We wouldn't go to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But really, other than that, we'll go to pretty much anything.
Yeah. Where does that love come from in terms of wanting to care for people and your the background was sort of more military based.
Yeah.
But obviously you clearly love what you do.
Yeah.
So where does that come from?
It's part of it is just an interest in subjects, but part of it is I do enjoy looking after people. I do care. I'm quite empathic. It was a wound. I did all that, and then before we went, person was on their own. What were you going to be doing? I was going to be making me dinner. Is it in the fridge? Yeah. Is it a micro? Yeah. I'll do it for you. Want a cup of tea? Mm-hmm. Not normally part of the emergency services, sure. But if we've got the time,
yeah,
I did that. It's fine, and I like doing that, and because it's just because I care, and everyone that I've ever met, that's the same thing. We do care.
And in terms of where we live, your role is so important, along with Richard in Castlethorpe as well, because of course we are remote, and it does take a little longer for an ambulance crew to get here. So, out of the 159 jobs that you alluded to earlier, I imagine you've seen lots of diversity in those jobs.
There's a wide range. So, funnily enough, I haven't come across any farm accidents yet, which I thought I might do.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping not, because the back of a tractor looks terrifying.
Yeah, it does. But that's really good news in terms of them looking after themselves, health and safety. Yeah.
The farmers are a tough bunch.
Yeah,
but I haven't had to do that. So I've gone to diabetic emergencies, strokes, people who are confused. So the elderly, where they've query sepsis, is quite a common thing that I get to.
Okay. Yeah.
I got to go to. It's usually adults. I have been to a few children as well. Fitting, so febrile convulsions in the very young.
Sure.
If you haven't seen that before as a parent, that's terrifying. Go to those. Quite a few cardiac arrests, but not in the village yet.
Yeah.
A bit wider afield. I've been to those, to some very serious head injuries, trauma out in Newport Pagnell and areas like that.
Yeah.
A lot of what we do is not that kind of stuff. Fortunately, the bread and butter is often, and it tends to depend on the time of year. Winter time, as you probably see in the news, it's lots of respiratory infections that mean that people are short of breath and having trouble keeping their oxygen saturations up. So I can help with that. To urinary infections, usually in the elderly, which causes confusion. But when confusion and new confusions involved, you're also thinking strokes. So I can do an assessment for that. To a non-injury fall, where someone has basically fallen over, but usually because of age, they just can't get themselves back up again, and then maybe they've pressed their care alarm, or someone's found them and they need to get up. I've got a lifting equipment, basically a cushion, that you put under there, and a compressor.
Okay.
And basically, there's 4 cushions that just deflate one after the other. You get them up to about 90 degrees, and then you can help them up. Every patient gets a clinical assessment and observations. As long as there's nothing wrong, I can get them up, and then we can get them on the way. And you don't need a crew then for that, because I can do that.
This may sound a bizarre question. How safe is our village? Because we are,
pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. I only ever don't get that many in the village, which is good. But the ones I've had have been sad cases. There was one. It didn't actually turn out to be the case, and I think it was. I'm trying to think. It was either my second or third job ever, which was not ideal. So it came through as a paediatric cardiac arrest, a baby.
Yeah.
Cliche, but it really is true. You see, watch ambulance, and it's the worst thing you could possibly be sent to.
Yeah.
And it literally was one of my first jobs. I was probably about a minute away from it. Fortunately, they were conscious and awake when I was there, and that's not actually what it was. It was, but they were poorly, but not that bad, so I could deal with that.
Good news.
But that's the exception. Sure. Normally, we're quite a safe hold.
And we have our defibrillators in the village.
4, yeah.
And so, how important is education for people that live here?
Part of the CFR's role. So South Central Ambulance charity runs the CFRs. So CFRs aren't funded by the NHS, but we're trained and work for NHS Ambulance Service. So part of our role is education. So we'll go out to communities, be it schools, sometimes workplaces, usually community centres, churches, working men's clubs, things like that, and we'll do defib and CPR awareness training. It's not a certificate, it's an awareness type of evening. It usually covers a couple of hours, and we get sort of discretionary donations from anyone who arrives. But the main focus, and it's something I'm really passionate about, I really like doing them, is getting as many people comfortable with doing compressions and comfortable and familiar with using an AED and knowing how to get one as well, because it's all about, there's something called the chain of survival. So that's about sort of early recognition of cardiac arrest, early CPR, early defibrillation, and then good post-care. So if you do get them back, good post-care. And it's that bit at the beginning that anyone who can do. 9.5 times out of 10, you're not going to have a cardiac arrest scheme in front of an ambulance crew. It's going to be in front of your family or your workplace. Yeah. If those people can know the signs of it, recognise it, they'll be calling 999 quickly, and we'll tell them that, and then they'll be getting on that chest and doing compressions properly, and we'll show them how to do that. And then if there's an AED available, someone else is going to go and get that, and it's back. And because you're familiar with it, because we've shown you how to do it, even though it tells you what to do, it's just faster. Yeah. And it's so important that as many people are willing to do that, because for every minute that you're in cardiac arrest, you lose about 10. Your chances of not surviving that drop by around about 10%. So it's rapid. Yeah, and that's because your heart's not beating properly, so there's not enough oxygen getting into your vital organs, particularly your brain. Yeah. And if that starts dying, you're not going to come back. Yeah. It's so important that I can get as many people in the village hall, working bands club, school, wherever. Just getting groups together and taking them through that, and I love doing it. That's as probably can tell, I'm very passionate about getting the message out because it's so important.
The Hanslope Show podcast. Your village, your podcast. It's all about Hanslope.
That's Alasdair, our first responder here in Hanslope. Let's hope we never have to see him. Thanks to Alasdair. There's more to come from Alasdair in future episodes too, to find out a little bit more about what he does for Hanslope and also the wider community as well. Now, here's this man to talk about Open Gardens, which is on later this month in June in Hanslope.
I am Philip Butcher from Newport Road in Hanslope.
And here we are, Phil, sitting in your fabulous garden.
Thank you.
And we are having the Open Gardens in June. So your garden is one of the open gardens, I believe.
It is, yes. Number one, I believe, this year, because they want to collect the money on the gate. And I've got a big drive so they can put a tent up there and welcome people and take their money and use my Wi-Fi.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Let's hope a lot of people come.
So you did it last year, I believe, is that right?
2 years ago, so it's every 2 years. 2 years ago was my first time. I'd been round... I mean, there are some great gardens in Hanslope. It's all a matter of persuading people to open them. So I've been going around open gardens for, a dozen years, maybe more. And I thought, mine's a decent size. And I thought I should offer.
How much time does a garden like this take? I imagine it's a full-time job, Phil.
I'm retired. I've nothing better to do on a nice day. I'd rather be out here than inside. It's a thing like that. Takes me, I don't know, an hour, a couple of hours to mow it every fortnight, so that's not hard work. The hardest work is putting the potatoes in and getting them up. The rest of it is pottering.
Now, you say you've been around many open gardens over the years, not only in Hanslope but around the area. What do you personally get from looking at open gardens?
Ideas. Of course, you always go to the ones where there's a lot of money being spent, and you come back and you think, oh, that was great, and then you think, yeah, but I can't do that. Just different ideas. I mean, there are certain things in this garden that I've picked up from planting schemes, I suppose, if you like, just by going elsewhere, seeing what they've done. Some places are good enough to actually label what the plants are. I'm coming back and trying to replicate it. Some of my ideas work and some don't.
But that, though, I guess, is the beauty and the joy of gardening, though, isn't it? Seeing some ideas, work, but some ideas need more work.
So as we were saying just before we started taping, I had this idea when I retired that I'd have lots of nice trees with coloured bark, so you get lots of nice birches. And I think I've bought 9, and I've got 2 left. And they just don't like, I don't know, is it the soil, is it the wind? But I've lost 2 this year. I dug them out yesterday. So you have ideas and you gradually learn what works in your own environment. So there are certain things that thrive here. Needless to say, there are more of them now. And there are certain things that don't. Well, you don't buy them again. Mind you, having bought 9 birches, you'd have thought I'd learnt, but I did buy 6 at one go, so that was... I won't be doing that again.
Have you got any tips for anybody that is opening their garden this year?
Let people come and look. Have a chat. You get to meet people. I've never met you before. No. And you're a local. We both lived in the same village for 30 years. So it's a good way of meeting people, yeah. And contributing towards the church, of course.
And of course, yeah, that's also one of the main important factors of doing it biannually too, isn't it?
Well, I think that, you've got to give Castlethorpe a shout. Some nice gardens down in Castlethorpe, if you've ever been. Some of the older places, you just stand back and admire. I don't know what's opened this year, but we've had the Manor has had its garden open a few times, and when you've got the house standing in the garden, it adds something, doesn't it? The gardens come with the houses, and some look great.
Are there any other gardens that from 2 years ago you looked and admired?
Oh yes. There's one on Castlethorpe Road. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but his is a lot better. I was going to say better than mine. He looked to me to be more of an horticulturalist. I've got a big garden, and it's not quite a landscape. It's not that big, but I'm very much into trees and looking at them from a distance, whereas his, you could go up a yard away and it looked great. Mine's not quite like that. Mine's better. If you look at it from the road, you think, oh, that's all right.
And like you said, it's a great way of getting to know the village behind the houses, and also the people that live here too.
That's correct, yes. So, 4 years ago, there were 3 gardens opened in Tattle End. Well, I'd never been round the back of those, so I went down there and had a chat to the people there about their mould problems in one garden. And again, you don't get to see these apart from on open gardens. Many years ago, and I am talking many years ago now, there was a street party on the High Street, and somebody had managed to get Hanslope Park to open. And so there were minibuses running to Hanslope Park, and I got myself a little trip round Hanslope Park. Now, wouldn't it be great if that could be included at some time in the future? I suspect the Foreign Office might think, maybe not. But it happened, 20 years ago? I don't know how it happened, but it did.
Well, it would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Because they're a massive part of our community, right on our doorstep. Many people use our facilities here, and it would be nice to strike up a better relationship, maybe, wouldn't it?
Well, it's got you can walk round the back. You can go over to Little Linford Wood and come back that way and come to the rear of the park. And you can see it's an old parkland. It's, it was set out when the building was there and the owners had money, and there are some fantastic trees, and you think, you can just imagine it in years gone by.
Are there any, you've mentioned one or two, any other hidden gems that people should look out for on their trip around open gardens? Apart from yourself, of course, this is a hidden gem.
I'll give a mention to the community orchard, which I'd never heard about until 2 years ago. I don't know how long it's existed. Behind the old school, behind where the playgroup meets. That's open to everybody, and it's all right. All these apples and pears, I assume at some point those are going to be big enough and producing mega crops, but Yeah, no, that came to me. I've sat up there on nice days. For me, it's only just a stroll up the road. But, yeah, no, I think it's called the Community Orchard. Give that a shout.
Yeah, no, me and my family, we planted a hazelnut tree there when it first opened, probably about 4 years ago, and I may be getting that wrong. Time flies by, as we well know. And remind us, when is the Open Gardens on, Phil?
Saturday, June the 20th, and Sunday, June the 21st.
So in terms of the weekend, walking around the gardens, you are house number 1, Phil, the great honour.
Well, I think it's because there's parking opposite. Don't let's put it there for wrong reasons. I think it's because there's an awful lot of space opposite my house where people can park, and obviously once they've parked, you can take their money if you make my house number 1. So I think that's the main reason.
And for encouraging other people to open their gardens, for people to come around, I guess obviously you would say, yeah, please do, more the better.
Yeah, I would. Absolutely. No more comment than that, really. I've not found it hard work in the past, and I don't expect to find it hard. I expect it to find it quite fun, I suppose. Say hello to people. Hope it's a nice day.
And you get a lot of pleasure out of it. Like you said, you sit down and talk to people, and you can do the same around other people's gardens. Yeah.
So the problem last time, of course, I didn't get to go round other people's gardens. Talking to people after, well, my friends went round other people's gardens and reported back, which were worth going to watch. So I had to go and find them and ask for a private visit, which I did.
Well, look, nice to speak to you, and thank you very much for showing me your garden on a sneak preview. It really is a sight to behold, and it's a lovely place to be, isn't it?
I'm out here a lot.
The Hanslope Show Podcast.
A massive thanks to Phil. We had a lovely chat in his garden, and I recommend going to see his garden, if not all the gardens, of course, on Hanslope Open Gardens on the 20th of June. Now, let's move on to line dancing here in the village. And if you've thought about maybe having a go, then this is the perfect opportunity to have a listen at what happens at the line dancing classes here in the village. You're going to hear from Rebecca and Kelly. They're members of the class during this little bit about line dancing. But first up, we'll start with the leader of the gang. It's Georgia.
We meet on a Thursday night at Hanslope Village Hall. We have improvers at 7 o'clock, and then we have beginners class at 8 o'clock. So the class is for an hour. We also do Saturday morning over at the Hanslope Community Hall by the Rec. So that's 9:30 till 10:30, which is an improvers class as well. So we've been doing it for a few years now.
Brilliant. And tell us your background in line dancing.
Well, I actually teach it with my husband, Mark, and I originally started line dancing because I took my dad along and I thought it would be really good for him, but actually he didn't like it and I really did, so I carried on doing it and done it for years, and my husband and I do jive together and lots of partner dancing, so but we do really enjoy line dancing. So yeah, when we moved to the village we said, if there's no line dancing there, we'll start a class, and that's what we did, yeah.
And it's really popular. Everyone seems to love it.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a lot of people come and go, but I think that happens. You know, life gets in the way and people are busy, but we've got some people that still come that came at the very beginning, so... Yeah, we're really lucky, and it's really good. We've got a good social group out of it as well, because obviously when we moved here we didn't know anybody, and then when there was a lot of people that moved to the new houses that didn't know anybody either, so I think the timing was probably really good. People were looking to meet people and make friends, and it was just the right thing, right time really, and we've carried on with the social life, so we do a lot of things together.
Let's hold and hold and hold and touch that right and left, not back, turn up. Left and right and left and right.
So you said there's 2 classes, so
Yeah.
For anybody interested in coming along, if they've never line danced before, obviously I guess the 7 o'clock class on a Thursday is perfect for them.
The 8 o'clock class.
8 o'clock, okay, 8
yeah,
o'clock, okay.
so we have the higher class first,
Right.
and then the beginners afterwards. So the beginners is at 8 o'clock. That would be the best class for them.
Okay.
Yeah, to come along to.
And what knowledge do you need, if anything, or tell us what we need to know?
I think any dancing can be taught. It just takes different people, different amounts of time. So as long as, if you enjoy it and you want to do it and you commit to doing it and you come, every week and, you do a bit of practice maybe midweek, then that's all you need really, is the drive and determination to do it. I mean, we burn about 500 calories a class. It's keeping us fit as well, which is really good. And then the music is kind of uplifting, and it's good for your memory as well as your fitness, because you have to kind of remember the steps. But we repeat the dances, so, once you know it, and then we move on to the next one. So, they don't need anything really, just a pair of sensible shoes or trainers and the willingness to give it a go, yeah.
As long as you do a heel and toe. What we're going to do, heel and toe.
Makes me a bit more active and meet people and have fun and love it, really.
So how long have you been line dancing?
With Hanslope, just over a year, but I line danced previously, years ago.
What brings you to Hanslope on a Thursday night in terms of, is it the social side more than anything else as well, and the line dancing, of course?
Yes, the social side of it. You make lots of new friends, and it's quite local for me as well, obviously from Stoke Bruin.
Yeah. So Kelly, where do you live?
Road.
And again, ask you the same thing. Why do you come to Hanslope on a Thursday night? You love line dancing, obviously.
I do, but Beck got me into it.
Oh, she's to blame.
She is. She started doing it, and then I tagged along, and now I love it.
And tell us what, if anyone's listening that they're thinking about line dancing but haven't quite come along, what do you think they would get out of it?
It's a good social, it keeps you active, and it's really friendly.
And Georgia seems like a live wire.
Yeah, she is. She's a good instructor, and we have fun. She is fun.
Come on!
And you mentioned the music. Oh, obviously, it's steeped in country music, but it goes further than that, doesn't it?
I mean, there's so many line dances around. There's literally hundreds of thousands of line dances that have been written by different choreographers. And there's a lot of people that have line danced for 30 years or so. So the dances, some of them stay around a long time. There's always new ones week in and week out. We do a certain amount of country, and country's having a massive revival at the moment, which is helpful to us as well. So we do quite a lot of country, but we also do modern tracks, and there's lots of different styles of line dances. So the good thing is that you don't need a partner, but we do like a dance style, which is a cha-cha-cha, and we do a waltz, and we would do a rumba. So various styles of dancing that you would do to different music.
What do you get out of it? What's your favourite part about teaching a group here in Hanslope?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, do a lot less other dancing now. It's predominantly line dancing because I have to learn all the new dances for the classes, and we also teach now in Toaster, Brackley and Buckingham. So yeah, it's quite a commitment, but I love it because it keeps me fit. It's really good for my memory. I've got an underactive thyroid, so my memory is shocking, and this, I feel, really helps improve it because I have to remember it. Yeah, so I think the friendships that I've made, the social life, the fitness, the fun, the enjoyment out of it. You might be having a really bad day, but once the music comes on, you've got to think about them steps, and everything else is forgotten about. So it's that escape, really, for an hour.
We're blessed with a couple of great facilities here, and also the club as well. I know you've done some line dancing there as well. So we are blessed with what we have here in the village. Yeah,
we definitely are. The club have been great to us, actually, as were the community hall. We did something for the Jubilee when it was the Jubilee here, and we did an awful lot of practice, and they granted us the space there to do all of the practice. So that was really good, and the club are great. We have our end of year party there. It's brilliant. It's a great place to have it, and people come from all over, not just the people that live in the village, because people do travel here. But yeah, we have an awards for Line Dancer of the Year and things like that. So it's a bit of fun, but it's a reward for everybody for their hard work for the year.
Brilliant. And what would you say if anyone's thinking about doing some line dancing, never done it before, or maybe experienced? What would you say? Come along.
I think come along, leave your ego at the door. We're all going to go wrong at different times. Nobody's perfect, and we're not looking for perfection or look at entering any competitions. We're just looking to have a bit of fun, and everybody was a beginner once, so I would say just come and give it a go.
And finally, any performances at all that you do during the year that you go out and about?
We did recently do a half-time performance for the roller derby over at Bedford, That was a couple of weeks ago, and that was really good, yeah. So we do a few things. We do a lot of our own events. Tomorrow night we've got our own honky tonk, which we have at the Brewery Tap in Wolverton, and that's where everybody gets to, like, we just play the music and everybody just gets up and dances and has a few beers, and yeah, and it's just like a really, really good social night. So we do those several times a year as well.
And that's our latest edition of the Hanslope Show podcast. Thank you so much to Phil, to Georgia and to Alasdair for contributing for this month. And if you'd like to feature in future episodes, we'd love to know what you do here in the village. Then, of course, get in touch via Facebook or drop me an email, trevor@thisismyfilm.com, and we'll get to you, come round and have a chat and put you on future episodes of the Hanslope Show podcast. Once again, thanks to Adam and the team at Hague Property Professionals, and the Hanslope Show podcast, of course, is kindly supported by the Hanslope Parish Council. And thanks to you for listening. Spread the word. There's more to come later this month.
The Hanslope Show podcast. Your village, your podcast. It's all about Hanslope.